Welcome to my vlog, Healed by Life. I'm Sam Malik, wishing you peace, joy, and healing. The body, mind, and soul. If we consider the soul to be the part of human existence closest to the divine origin, then we can ascribe certain characteristics to it. The soul, like the divine, is free from disease, at least in its original state. The soul is all loving, all forgiving, is all generous. It is full of joy, is never afraid or angry, and lacks nothing. In other words, it wants to forgive everyone, wants to share everything, and wants to love everyone as its equal. It is actually composed of the divine ideals and demands perfection effortlessly. The soul is universal and does not differentiate between people. But man is not the soul alone. The mind, on the other hand, is afraid, is scared of being hurt, of going hungry. It gets angry when hurt and wants to protect itself even at the expense of others. It separates itself from others around it and even feels threatened by others. It is separate from other life forms and insists on creating its own unique identity so that it can justify its desire for self-protection. It refuses to love everyone equally or to share what it considers to be its precious possessions with everyone. It finds it difficult to share its treasures, even with family and friends and loved ones sometimes. It would rather protect us and keep us safe, hidden and stationary, even inactive. It will create a million excuses for us to be afraid. It wants to create hierarchy in the universe and wants it to be a priority, like a child, often immature and selfish. It thinks that this is its duty and the best way of serving man. After all, it is an organ for self-preservation. While the mind is constantly seeking attention, the soul is more subtle and restrained. The mind constantly wants to prove how clever it is and convolutes even the most simple of things. It loves cleverness and complications. The soul is shy and withdraws easily. The soul does not like chaos and negativity. The mind loves them. A huge mistake we make is to identify ourselves with the mind primarily. Man is a combination of the soul, mind, and body, not just one of these elements. The body holds many secrets too. It is an incredible work of art. Perhaps for our purposes, its most important aspect is that it is the perfect reflection of the conflict between the mind and the soul. Any tension or friction between the mind and the soul is reflected in the body as a disease. So you see, no one is blaming the victim here. It is a natural phenomena that any conflict between the soul and the mind will eventually manifest itself as a disease or distortion in the body. And if not consciously, we still are causing disease, even without being aware of the ability to, within our own bodies. Since the body is meant to reflect this, the only solution seems to be to develop greater harmony between the soul and the mind. This harmony is an individual balance and requires individual conflict resolution solutions. So the same disease or the symptoms of the same disease may appear for entirely different reasons in two different people. Since the conflict is unique, the disease is unique too, and its healing process is also unique to each person. So this built-in system also has positive reflections. When the mind and soul are in harmony, the the body appears healthy and even more beautiful. This is one of the echoes of the universe, or one of the principles of reflection. The very subtle soul versus the less subtle mind causing distortion in the more gross body. Gross as in more seemingly solid. It is interesting to guess how the soul is a reflection of the divine in a similar fashion, but in reverse. Perhaps a simplistic example is necessary to explain this relationship. It's a bit like light traveling through a vacuum, then entering air, and then entering a layer of water. There is distortion, refraction, etc. as it passes through each medium. When I say that the body reflects this conflict between the mind and the soul, I need to give you some examples to illustrate this. The soul is fearless, the mind generates fear. If the conflict becomes very intense and is prolonged, it results in kidney damage. The kidneys are the final place of manifestation of fear in the physical realm. Anger makes the liver sick and diseased. The lack of forgiveness can cause diabetes, so it affects pancreas, etc. Each disease in the body is a reflection of the battle above. Many diseases are the outcome of emotional conflicts and imbalances. At stake is the body. These bad emotions, even when the mind justifies them, prove to be very expensive and cost us good health dearly, even permanently. Our major organs have their individual consciousness, slightly separate from our own, just like the mind. For a person without awareness, it's all the same. But through meditation and discipline, we realize that all the organs have their own thinking and personalities. It's like a family has come together to create our body, and these are the various family members. Sometimes it's very useful in healing to talk to your organs, to listen to them, and to take care of them like you would another person. It's good to befriend them, as once in harmony, they are your intimate friends and ready to serve you. It's equally important to acknowledge your soul and honor it, and to let it know it is loved and cherished. It is a good idea to let it have some expression through meditation and even actions. After all, it wants what's good for you and everyone else. So meditate on loving all, forgiving all, even if it's not possible in our actions. This is extremely useful in healing. Please watch the videos on this channel and get familiar with my healing philosophy before you contact me for individual appointments via my website healedbylife.com.